It's all about the Champions League draw in, of course, the league phase of a Champions League. Welcome, it's a beautiful game. Of course, let's get straight into it. That was Zlatan, of course, with the intro there. Liverpool and Manchester City will face 15-time winners Real Madrid in the league phase of a Champions League. Now, while Tottenham and Newcastle must play holders Paris Saint-Germain. Now, the 36-team league introduced last season will see 6 Premier League teams in action for the first time, but they cannot face each other until the knockout stages. Now, Liverpool will face Atletico Madrid and beaten finalist Inter Milan in their 8 games, with Pep Guardiola's City taking on Napoli and Borussia Dortmund. Now, Chelsea will face giants Barcelona and Bayern Munich, while Arsenal will also play Hurricanes, Bayern and Inter. Now, let's take a look at this now, yeah? Like we mentioned, Paris Saint-Germain. Now, what we have here are the fixtures that Paris Saint-Germain will be taking on. PSG will take on Bayern. There will be Atlanta. There will be Spurs. There will be Newcastle. There will be Barcelona. There will be Bayer Leverkusen, Sporting, and, of course, Athletic Club. Some other notable team here, Liverpool. Liverpool, who at the group phase were the best team last season, will be up against Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, of course, Olympique de Marseille. They will be also taking on Galatasaray, PSV. It's going to be, wow, quite a packed face. Eintracht Frankfurt is also there, talking about Liverpool's fixtures. Chelsea, now this is what many people are talking about here. Now, let me mention that a lot of people are quite going to be interested in this particular draw when Chelsea take on Barcelona. People are talking about it. Now, that will quite be something. Now, they say to be the best, you have to beat the best. Chelsea are Club World Cup champions, and they'll be up against a team that many people would say is one of the best teams in the Champions League last season in Barcelona. They'll also take on Benfica. They'll take on Bayern Munich. There will be Atalanta. Napoli, this is going to be quite interesting here. Of course, there's also, the interesting thing is Liverpool will be taking on Real Madrid, so Trent Alexander-Arnold will be going back home. Napoli would also take on Manchester City. So Kevin De Bruyne will head back to the Etihad, but interesting one will be Galatasaray taking on Napoli. So Victor Osimhen will go back to his former club. So there's just all that drama. Then there's that talk that are UEFA actually tailoring the draws so that there can be drama, which is quite interesting. Are they planning it all out for drama? Well, that remains to be seen, but the point is that we all love it as it goes. Okay, yeah, this is what we spoke about here for Galatasaray, who will also take on Manchester City and all of that. Now, something that I also want to mention, after the Champions League, of course, this weekend is going to be the league. That's talking about the league in England. So let's just take a look, preview some of the fixtures that will be happening this particular weekend. Chelsea will be up against Fulham. Now, this is the weekend just before the international break. Manchester United will take on Burnley. Sunderland will take on Brentford. Tottenham Hotspur are going to take on Bournemouth. Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Everton. Leeds United will take on Newcastle. Let's take a look at other games. Brighton and Hove Albion will take on Manchester City. Nottingham Forest will take on West Ham United. The big match of the weekend has to be this particular one, and that will be Liverpool up against Arsenal. And it is going to be, for me, it's going to be defining, because whoever wins, except it's a draw, whoever wins would have laid down a strong marker for the season as it goes. I mean, they are talking about the first team, the champions, up against the second team, so that is the match of the weekend. Aston Villa will take on Crystal Palace to wrap up the weekend, and of course, it's going to be the international break. Now, tomorrow on the beautiful game, we'll take out our time, and we're going to preview these games quite very much for those of you who are investors and would want something. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. That's the size of what the games will be this particular weekend in the EPL. Now, that's it on the beautiful game. We'll take our time and now stay with us. There's still a bit more to come on show.